Dr. Lance Dodes, a former assistant clinical professor of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School. Dr. Dodes is a contributor to the best-selling book, The Dangerous Case of Donald Trump. 37 psychiatrists and mental health experts assess a president. Dr. Dodes, there he is today saying, I think Adam Schiff is a deranged human being. He grew up with a complex for lots of reasons that are obvious. I think he's a very sick man and he lies. What's your reaction to Donald Trump saying that about Adam Schiff?
Well, you had Representative Schiff on earlier, and I think he got it exactly right. He said this is a projection. That's exactly what it is. He tells other people that they are what he is. It's a common enough mechanism in early childhood, but as an adult using it all the time, it's what we would call primitive. It's if Donald Trump were capable of giving a reasonable discussion of something he didn't agree with, he would make some sort of logical case. But he's unable to do that. He runs kind of a simple program in that way. So he tells you that other people are what he is being accused of and what he actually is.
So in that sense, Doctor, does that mean that his source material for what he is saying is almost always himself, because that's the only source material he has?
Yes, everything is about him. As you pointed out, he doesn't have actual knowledge, so he just says what feels right to him, and especially what is for him, what he thinks is in his personal interest. Your other guest was pointing out that he is replacing America with himself, and people who support him rather than the country. And I think that's also exactly right. Like many strong men, the con that he has works because he identifies himself with something that they love, in this case, America. So as long as they have the idea that he is America, that he represents America, he literally wraps himself in the flag, which he's done, then it doesn't matter that he's a sociopath. It doesn't matter that he has no conscience. It doesn't even matter that he commits crimes against humanity, which he did when he locked up children in cages on the border. As long as they think he represents what they love, they will support him.
I want to listen to something else Donald Trump said today in London. And we're going to hear him say that he's not going to say this, and then he says it in the next sentence. Let's watch this.
In some ways, I think it's better to wait till after the election. You want to know the truth? I think in some ways it's better to wait till after the election with China. But I'm not going to say that. I just think that. I just tell you, in some ways, I like the idea of waiting till after the election for the China deal.
So right in the middle of all that, we hear him say, I'm not going to say that, I just think that. And he's already said it, and then he says it again.
Well, again, this is, you have to understand, this is a man, as I said, who's running really a very simple program. I don't say that as an insult. It's just because it's true. He can only do what he does, and he is, in a way, he's limited by the limited capacity of a person with early emotional development. He doesn't have much complexity to him, so he says what he thinks, and it doesn't matter whether it's true. Truth means nothing to him, and other people mean nothing to him. Once you get that concept that nothing matters, that no conscience, no morality, then everything else falls into place, and truth means nothing.
In your experience, Doctor, how does a person end up like this? What's the developmental path to this kind of condition?
It's very early. Almost all people don't have this problem. One of the ironies is that most of the people who support Donald Trump would make a far better president than Donald Trump because they're not as ill. But if the early capacity to have empathy for other people, to identify them as being worthwhile and caring about them, happens in all human beings at a very early point. He doesn't have that, and that's why he can treat other people with complete abandon. He literally abandon them. If they're for him, he loves them. If they're against him, they're horrible. It's as I say, it's black and white and very simple.
Writing in 2017 in the book that we mentioned, The Dangerous Case of Donald Trump, you said that these characteristics will only become worse. Do you see evidence that has happened?
Absolutely, and they will continue to be worse. If he didn't have his party behind him, he would have been out of the office a long time ago because he's so obviously incompetent. But he will be propped up. As long as he is propped up, I think he'll survive. But he will certainly get worse the more he's challenged.
Dr. Lance Dodes, thank you for joining us once again tonight. We always appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Sure.